We've now seen two business types, the sole proprietor and the partnership, and both shared one terrifying weakness: unlimited liability. In this episode, we meet the invention that fixed it, an idea so powerful that it made the entire modern economy possible. It's called limited liability, and the LLP is one of its first and clearest homes. Let's understand it properly. Before we can understand limited liability, we need the word liability all by itself. It simply means what you are legally responsible to pay. If a business takes on debts or gets sued, those are its liabilities, and someone, somewhere, has to cover them. The single question that quietly shapes every business structure we study is this: who is responsible, and how much of their own personal money is on the line? Hold that question in your mind, because the answer is what separates every structure from the next. So here are the two worlds side by side. On the left, unlimited liability, the world of the sole proprietor, and the ordinary partnership we've already met. There is no wall between you and the business, so its debts can reach right into your personal savings, your car, even your home. On the right, limited liability. A legal wall stands between your personal life and the business. If the business fails, you can lose only what you chose to put in, your investment, but no more than that. Your home and your personal savings beyond that investment are protected. That wall, simple as it sounds, changed the entire world. Here's the whole idea in one picture. On one side, you have the business and all of its debts and risks. On the other side, you have your personal life, your home, your savings, your family's security. Limited liability places a strong legal wall right between the two. So if the business runs into serious trouble and can't pay what it owes, that trouble stops at the wall. It cannot follow you home. The very most you can lose is the money you deliberately chose to invest. Everything beyond that is safe behind the wall. Why does this matter so enormously? Think it through. If backing a business could cost you your house, you would only ever invest in things you could personally control and completely trust. But once limited liability existed, people could put money into a big, risky venture, a factory, a railway, a trading voyage across the ocean, knowing that the very most they could lose was the amount they put in. Suddenly, complete strangers were willing to pool their money to fund enormous projects. This one idea is the engine behind almost all large-scale business in the modern world. Remember the Dutch East India Company from our very first episode? This is the exact principle that made it possible. Now we can define the LLP very simply. Take a normal partnership with its shared ownership, shared profits, and flexibility, and add the protective wall of limited liability. That's a limited liability partnership. The partners still run the business together, just as before, but they are not personally liable for the LLP's debts. If the business fails, the partners lose their investment, but their personal homes and savings stay safe behind the wall. It is, quite simply, the partnership made safe. There's an important legal idea sitting underneath all of this, and it will come up again and again on this channel. An LLP is a separate legal entity. That means, in the eyes of the law, the LLP is treated almost like its own person, separate from the partners who own it. It can own property in its own name, sign its own contracts, and be sued all by itself, rather than its owners being sued directly. This legal separation is exactly what builds that protective wall we keep talking about. The business's problems stay with the business and not with the people behind it. So where will you actually run into LLPs in real life? Look at the law firm, the accounting firm, or the architecture practice down the road. Many of them are LLPs. Professional firms love this structure for a very specific reason. The partners want to work together and share in the rewards, but they do not want one partner's costly mistake or lawsuit to put every other partner's personal home and savings at risk. The LLP gives them exactly that: collaboration, with a protective wall between each partner's personal life and the other's errors. The LLP exists in both countries with a very similar spirit. In India, it was created by the LLP Act of 2008 and is registered with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It's popular with professional firms and small businesses that want liability protection without becoming a full company. In the United States, LLPs are formed under state law and are especially common among law firms, accounting firms, and other professional partnerships, where they shield each partner from the malpractice of the others. Same core idea on both sides of the world: partnership flexibility, wrapped in a protective wall. Let's recap. 1. Liability is what you are responsible to pay, and limited liability caps it at only what you chose to invest. 2. That protective wall between your personal wealth and the business is the very idea that unlocked large-scale modern business. 3. An LLP is simply a partnership, plus that wall. And 4. An LLP is a separate legal entity, but, importantly, it still cannot sell shares to the general public. Hold on to that last limitation. This idea of limited liability was so powerful that it spread into many different forms. One of the most popular in the entire world, especially across America, is a very close cousin of the LLP called the LLC, the Limited Liability Company. That's exactly where we go next. This is the market story, from the basics all the way to advanced, one story at a time. If the idea of limited liability finally clicked into place for you, please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and it's the single biggest way you help this channel grow. Drop a like so others can find it, and tap the bell so the next episode comes straight to you. See you there.